guys, and thanks for joining us tonight on the SoFLo Sports Show, episode 132. It's your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Lou from Dade, and boy, oh boy, tonight, do we have a jam-packed episode for you guys.
Yeah, and we are 7 days into the new year, so if you didn't catch our last show, Happy New Year for those who were with us the last time. But yeah, a lot of things happened in the first 7 days of the 2026.
It has been wild. Just last week, exactly at this time, we were having our nice New Year's Eve dinner,
right,
knowing that we had to rush back home to watch the Cotton Bowl, which you guys know how the story unfolded. The Canes ended up beating Ohio State to advance to the Fiesta Bowl, which will be held tomorrow.
Sweet revenge. And speaking of Fiesta Bowl, it was revenge for the 2003 Fiesta Bowl, where the Hurricanes and Ohio State met for the championship. Different format, different system back then, but Ohio State, thanks to the refs, ended up defeating the Hurricanes in that one, and so that was nice revenge. And as a result and as a reward, the Hurricanes will be playing tomorrow in the Fiesta Bowl, different venue this time. They'll be playing in Glendale, where the Arizona Cardinals play. So yeah, it's a big, big deal, and everybody around town right now it's buzzing because the Hurricanes are, right now they're back. They got to win 2 more games to be officially back, but it's a big deal. Long time coming.
Definitely. So that's one of the stories. And the other big story going around here is just all the talk about the Dolphins, right? So much. Our season, as you guys know, is over. We will not be seeing Dolphin football Saturday or Sunday or Monday. It is completely done for the season. However, the show must go on. And what we do know is we do not have a GM. So we're currently in the search for a GM. Interviews have been set. There's been Zoom calls. There's going to be flights coming down here. And a handful of coaches were let go on Black Monday to lose big disappointments. Huge disappointments.
Unfortunately, not the one that I wanted, but yes.
Yeah, so that also happened on Monday and Tuesday. Lou has been on his phone like a hawk, constantly scrolling, waiting for the news. I actually pranked him on Friday. I apologize. I called him up. I said, babe.
She got me.
He said, what? I said, you won't believe it. I heard his ears perk up. He was so excited, and he thought I was going to drop the good news. And I said, I'm just kidding. And you said, don't do that to me. He was very disappointed.
Yeah. Now, look, so all in all, you did get me. I'll give you that.
I got you good.
All in all, the Falcons, Browns, Raiders, Cardinals, and, of course, the Ravens, which you found out yesterday in shocking fashion, have gotten rid of their coaches. You add to the list the Giants and the Titans, who got rid of their coaches earlier during the season. But yeah, those are so far the casualties on Black Monday and overall throughout the course of the season. And I was shocked that McDaniel was not by there. We're not going to review or recap the game on Sunday because it was a complete disaster.
As we kind of predicted it was going to be.
We did, and I want to give you specifically credit. We did our predictions on the show, and I said it was going to be 35-20. You said it was going to be 35-10. And the final score was 38-10, so you were just 3 points off. You totally saw that coming. And
I did.
I want to definitely give you a congratulations for making that pick. But look, the big story after the game and leading into Monday and even into today, Wednesday, is the fact that Mike McDaniel was not let go. Not only was he not let go, he was able to make his post-game press conference, and then they doubled down and had him do a Monday after the game press conference, which was just ramblings. He alluded to the fact that not only is he preparing for the offseason and preparing for the upcoming draft, he said that he was going to, help with the GM search, which I think was asinine to, allow him to make those comments so fresh after the season. Stephen Ross didn't release any statement. He didn't give any interviews. So for him to have that carte blanche and just...
You're using some big words tonight. Where have you gotten these words from?
I've been reading the dictionary lately.
Well, let's check in the chat and see what's going on. So Russ says, and McDaniel is still the coach of the Fish. Unfortunately, he is. Big sis Lisa in the house. Well, here we go. My picks for the first college football semifinal games, simple. Your Hurricanes.
Thank you.
You heard it first.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate
she is all about the Canes. Russ is declaring us Eagle fans. Russ, just for you, we'll give a Fly Eagles fly, but that's as far as that's getting. Our buddy Mike Rivera, West Coast Mike. Hi guys, hello to you. Least want to know. Well, first, Daniel Taylor also in the house. Daniel Taylor. Hello, welcome to the chats. Lisa wants to know, what do you think of John Harbaugh getting fired as the Ravens head coach?
Yeah, it was extremely surprising. Well, I'm sorry, not surprising.
No, you called it, though.
I sorry. Yeah, you flustered me there with a question. I wasn't surprised. I thought it would be more, let me rephrase that. I thought it'd be more that he would say, hey, look, I want to, it was going to be more of a mutual agreement to part ways. I didn't think John Harbaugh would be, fired right there and then a couple of days after the season. So he deserved better than that, in my opinion. I thought that, I could see it again, not working out and a mutual parting of the ways. But when you saw it and he was fired, it was really alarming at first. And then obviously my response, everybody else was, hey, Dolphins, go get him. And we're trying to figure out if that's exactly what's taking place. Yeah. We're still not sure if that is the case or not. But yeah, it was definitely an aha moment for sure.
Daniel says, Canes Nation's all about the U. It is all about the U, baby. That is all. So our guest who's coming on around 8 o'clock, we're covering everything Canes. So stay tuned for that. Finn, Sammy as well. Finn, Sammy had an amazing show last night. Like totally, like mic drop and everything. So good to see him. Kato in the house. Kato, go Canes as well. Another our Canes sister as well. We watched some Canes games with her, and I know her and Alfredo are on cloud 9. They are so about the U.
Yeah. So let's take it back to the GM search. Put up the list.
So you guys, I'm sure, have also heard these names circulating. Like I just feel like there's been so many. They're just kind of throwing it out there and seeing, who's available. And so this. Oh, sorry, I apologize. It's actually this one. Add to stage. All right.
Yeah, so you see the names there. There's 3 candidates from the San Francisco 49ers, which bodes well if you're a Mike McDaniel fan because they all have direct relationships with McDaniel.
But before you do that, I just want to check in the chat real quick. Bob, sorry, actually, about Edward Cabrera. My mouth is nonstop about baseball. That one stung. Yeah. It stung, but we'll see. Also, Sandy, we miss you. Sandy from San Diego. Hello, my love. We miss you and Jer and Shula. So good to see you here. And then Cap, everybody's here today. Cap, go get Harbaugh and Chad Alexander now. Yeah. Cap says it.
So
all right, go on with your GM check.
You see there that the 3 candidates for the San Francisco 49ers. You also, Russ, see Alec Halaby, assistant to the general manager with the Eagles. So he's on the we're on the proud to maybe take Howie Roseman's second in command, if you will. And then not on that list, and yes, was mentioned earlier here by Cap, Chad Alexander. He was a late addition. He's not on this official list from the Dolphins, but Chad Alexander is a guy that has worked previously with John Harbaugh in Baltimore. He is currently the assistant to the LA assistant general manager in the LA Chargers system, who of course is Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh's brother. So
no.
So the fact that Chad Alexander has been added to that list, that bodes well for the amazing, shocking news that was released yesterday, which is the fact that John Harbaugh was fired from the Baltimore Ravens. Yep. And with the fact that McDaniel gave his press conferences, not just on Sunday, but also Monday, there was a big stir around town because a lot of people are tying the Dolphins to Harbaugh. And, we're going to see what happens. I mean, obviously the GM role is important. If you want to take that off. The GM definitely should have the free range and the power to pick his head coach. I don't think him or anybody would want somebody forced on him. So we're going to learn real quick if it is going to be Chad Alexander that would pair well with Harbaugh, or if they go one of the San Francisco 49ers route and then coddle to McDaniel, which I think is beyond ridiculous. Because at this point, you're trying to reform him, right? You're trying to say, well, he worked well with these guys out in the Bay Area. Let's bring that guy back in and see if he can recapture the magic. Well, look, 4 years in, you know what you're getting with Mike McDaniel. And, this talk about that. We won't recap the game, but we will say that they, once again, got outscored in the third quarter. And for the season now, it's 130-27, the point differential in the third quarter that the Dolphins gave up. You can't make that up. You can't go into week 16 and 17 saying we got to fix this. You've either figured out how to fix it or you haven't. And a guy like John Harbaugh, for example, when he's on the market, He's not going to allow that to happen. He's not going to let the team to be outscored and destroyed in the third quarter. So you got to figure that if Harbaugh was a coach this year alone, I'd add 2 to 3 more wins on the Dolphins season.
So Daniel says it's a shock. Some people are saying that the Ravens chose Lamar Jackson over Harbaugh. According to Twitter Spaces that have been in NFL, teams are fighting tooth and nail for his services. Cap also says Fox Sports reports that 9 teams. Nine. To make sure I had 9 fingers there. Have contacted former Ravens head coach John Harbaugh about vacant and occupied head coach roles. I mean, he's a commodity. People, I know the Giants are looking at him. We're looking at him.
Yeah, so there's 5 teams that released their coaches on Monday.
But even if they didn't release him, if they have somebody now,
that's what I'm going with. So 5 coaches that were released on Monday, 2 that were released during the season. 9, I mean, do the math. And that's not even counting. And Russ, cover your ears. You might not like that. And actually, Russ, I want to ask you, that's not counting the teams in the playoffs that could potentially let go of their coach to pursue Harbaugh. And I'm going to be frank about it. I think there's 3 teams right off the bat. Carolina, they snuck into the playoffs by a fraud division that they play in. You're going to tell me they wouldn't want John Harbaugh, to work with a young quarterback and, being in that horrible division that they could potentially win for the next 4 or 5 years if they get the right guy in charge. Yeah. So that's one team. The second team is the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott, has won the divisions 4 years in a row, but now he's on the wild card playing at Jacksonville. They're underdogs in that game. And if they were to lose to the Jaguars and go on in the first round, you're going to tell me Buffalo wouldn't want to fire McDermott and bring in Harbaugh? That's one. Another one that, Russ, you're in the room. Russ, I ask you, if Sirianni lays an egg at home against the 49ers, would you not consider bringing John Harbaugh on board? Would you take him? Let us know, Russ, in the room, if you would take Harbaugh. I know you don't want to hear about it because you want to win on Saturday, but if you don't, wouldn't you consider having Harbaugh, as your next coach of the Eagles?
Even Lisa just said at Tampa Bay Bucks, who got screwed out of the playoffs. Yes. So the only Florida team left is Jacksonville, who has the Bills coming into town this week. So that's an interesting matchup as well.
And then the other team, all the other teams are set with their coaches. They all have good programs, good system in place. I do not think any other coach will. Any other teams would make a move. However, there is one more, and this is a total wild card: the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in the same similar kind of boat.
Yeah.
Tomlin and Harbaugh have been there so long at their post, and obviously the Ravens decided to move on. I think the Steelers, with a loss against the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football, would also look to letting go of Tomlin. However, it being such a rival, I don't know if the Steelers fan base and the Steelers upper management would embrace John Harbaugh after going up against him twice a year.
Yeah.
If they would embrace that.
So let me ask you that.
Yeah.
You're right. You actually have a little eye thing there. I think your stress of McDaniel still being here actually caused you to have a blood vessel that popped in his eye.
It might.
So you just talked about like a rival coach coming to town. So you know where I'm going with this. Bill Belichick. No. So you freak out. No. I'm just saying. How would you feel back in the day?
The proper question would be McDermott. If McDermott gets let go, we want him here. Look, anything is better than Mike McDaniel at this point.
Sammy said everyone's getting fired but McDaniel. That's why Lou popped the blood vessel. Hey guys, can you hear us? If you can hear us in the chat, Jeremy, I'm gonna put you in. Jeremy, can you hear us?
Yep.
We're live. Okay, so Luke, you're doubling. We're live. Okay, so the screen froze. Okay, the screen did not freeze, guys. We were sitting here doing the show, and a big explosion just happened. I guess a transformer right next to our house totally went. It was petrifying. So Lou, sit down. We're live. Let's try this again. So yeah, that was just really, really crazy. So guys, thanks for sticking in this with us. We have no idea what happened. It was a bright light. We're not dead or anything, but then everything just, I think, or you're not dead. Unless Jeremy, did you come with us?
Yeah.
So it was a bright light, and then everything just went black here. So that was terrible. Optimus Prime blew up. I can hear you, Daniel. I can hear you. Okay, guys. So let's regroup. I don't see it. Where? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, Jeremy. I'm going to scoot you back out, and we're going to bring you back. Hold on.
Yes. You send the stream there?
All right, guys. So give us 1 sec to just regroup. And that was crazy. All right.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty intense.
Yeah,
the transformer in the building next door, just blew up pretty much. And there's
we are very close to the Caribbean, guys. This is not the time and place. Okay, perfect. All right, so that was not cool.
Okay, so as I was saying, I'm not sure how long we were out there for, so apologies for that. But either way, look, the Dolphins have a decision to make, and I don't think it's a easy decision. I think it's a very easy decision. They should fire McDaniel and pursue, Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, former Baltimore Ravens head coach. I think that's what they have to do immediately. I'm not sure why it's being dragged on. It should have been done on Sunday after the game, but here we are. And I think at this point, as was mentioned in the room, we have so many teams that are trying to pursue him, and there will be more as we were getting into with the playoffs. So I think we need to make a move right now and make sure that McDaniel's out and Harbaugh hopefully is in, or at least pursuing to get him, because it's not a guarantee that he wants to come here. Dolphins don't have a lot to offer, I understand. Although he will cement his legacy in the history of the game should he be able to win down here where nobody else has been able to win. So we'll see.
So Sammy said, I'm glad you guys are okay. I thought I broke Lou with that McDaniel joke. That was weird. Apparently the transformer blew up because your neighborhood was downloading too much spicy content. So it was wild. Okay, so let's regroup. So we have Jeremy backstage. Jeremy's a dear friend of ours, huge Panthers fan. We were with him at the Winter Classic just a few days ago. We're going to bring him on in a second and get his opinion on what happened. We had a great time. I think he had a great time. He had great coverage, but it's been mixed reports from people. We also found out where the 2027 Winter Classic will be. Interesting location. If you guys haven't heard, stay tuned. We're going to let you know about that. But yeah, I wanted to get Russ's opinion in the room. So Russ, I'm not sure. I got to go back to the chat, and we kind of lost some of the answers there. But and I don't want to wish it on you, but should Sirianni and the Eagles not prevail against the 49ers, would you want Harbaugh to come to the Eagles? Okay, guys. So real quick, we have a special guest. Jeremy's a special guest. We have a special guest in Arizona, live in Arizona, who's actually covering the Canes and Rebels game. So we're going to bring him on live from Arizona.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
For some reason, when I turn the camera, it puts me upside down. So
you are upside down. You're sideways now. There you go.
Stranger Things, it was a good finale, but I don't know what to do. I'm go like this.
It's been a funky night. We were just, covering the Dolphin stuff, and then all of a sudden, the transformer in the building next to us completely blew. It looked like we just got attacked. Yeah. So it's just a funky night, but we're excited to have you live from Arizona. So tell us what's going on. What's the atmosphere? Have you seen Canes fans yet? The weather in Arizona? Give it to us all.
Yeah. We're at this cool resort media hotel. It's very Adobe style, or a little cool little bedroom. Kind of show you guys, show you what it looks like here. It's about 40 degrees, but we got this cool little patio. That's Camelback Mountain. We're up in Scottsdale. And,
Gosh, look at that
a little
place.
bit of rain today, but it's cool. There's all these little casitas. And yeah, just kind of the calm before the storm. I'm throwing a little local news cheese for you. But yeah, we're out here in the desert, and everybody's arriving tonight. Canes are back at their hotel. They had a closed practice today. And, everyone's pretty confident. Mario Cristobal takes the lead, and he came into the coach's press conference, walking in tennis shoes with a suit, business on the top, work on the bottom. We'll call it the work mullet for Mario.
Yeah.
This team, I think, gains so much in winning the game at the Cotton Bowl. And Miami simply out-physicaled teams, and that's going to be the plan tomorrow. The problem with this is when you out-physical teams, you try to do too much. And Tommy Castellanos would maybe be the closest quarterback comparison from Florida State to what Trinidad Chambliss can do. And my concern is as good as Bain and Mesidor are, they've got to have gap integrity, because if they get too far upfield, that's going to open up the rushing lanes for Chambliss, who looks like Patrick Mahomes at the college level. I'm sure all the Tua talk, all about that. But
we do.
That's going to be the game. They're going to get to the quarterback. It's can they bring him down? And a mobile quarterback is the hardest person to bring down. But we've talked before, even if the defense gives up points, so much of this rests on Carson Beck. If Carson Beck does not turn the ball over, the Canes will win. And we've gotten to a new place where he and Shannon Dawson have a little bit longer leash from Mario. And Carson has played this team twice when he was at Georgia, 2023 and 24. And obviously the defensive coordinator that's now the head coach, Golding, was there. So, the team is close to the vest, no bulletin board material, very businesslike. But then again, Ole Miss has nothing to lose, at all. And they're playing free. So it's a question of who's going to seize the moment. And, hopefully that's Miami. And then we can come back next week and talk about a national championship game.
So fun fact, I'm just going to drop it. No one knows this except Blue. I used to work for Ole Miss. And this, I'm for sure all Canes, every ounce of me. But I worked in. No. I'm not a hottie toddy. I'm not a rebel. I've been to Oxford many, many times. So it's a beautiful college town. But yeah, I worked in recruitment and admissions and athletics for Ole Miss. Fun fact. All right, I know you got a question for Josh.
Yeah, no, so Josh, we're looking here at your great coverage today. You were at the coach's press conference, which, by the way, it looks like Mario Cristobal's got the ultimate advantage on Pete Golden. He towered over him. So we're looking at your pictures here. We're looking at the pictures of the helmets, the trophy that we saw Coach Cristobal and Coach Golding going at it. So, yeah, what's the scene there like? Have you seen a lot of Hurricane fans around Arizona?
No, not really, to be honest with you, because the way Phoenix is, it's so spread out. So
yes.
We're actually in Scottsdale, which is where all the media stuff's taking place, but the stadium, State Farm's, an hour away in Glendale.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that far.
Yeah. So tonight, if anybody wants to watch Channel 7, sorry, some shameless self-promotion. We're going to bring on somebody that's been to a semifinal game before that has led a team, and his name is head coach Jim Larinaga. So we're going to be having a fireside dinner chat with Coach L. We might have a special appearance from Lamar Thomas. We might have a special appearance from Andre Johnson. Might have a special appearance from a guy named Edgerrin James. So we got the legends in the building flying in tonight. Fun fact, Johnny Manziel is here. We know that he skipped out on his college game day commitment. But Johnny's here. He's a Scottsdale legend. Yeah, Fashion Square, if anybody's listening to this in the Scottsdale area, will be the place to be.
What a lineup there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Some Hall of Fame, some gold jackets in there. I love it. And so, Josh, go ahead.
I don't know, not at all.
No, just want to, obviously with you were at the Cotton Bowl also with Randall Hill last week. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's life, man. I'm telling you, you got it.
We love to see you on the road. You've done great coverage at Channel 7 and, excellent job. So we love every time you're on the road. You've actually joined us previously from the Stanley Cup final. You've joined us from the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So we greatly appreciate it. I would be remiss though if I didn't ask you, obviously, with you making your travels to Arizona on Sunday, Mike DePasquale did a great job hosting Sports Extra, and he had his segment with Drew, and so what are you going to ask Drew next week with everything going on with the Dolphins, and what is your take on John Harbaugh? How bad do the Dolphins need to pursue him?
Okay, so John Harbaugh is a little bit of a different situation, simply because there are multiple suitors, and it's kind of one of those things where he was the head coach of that team for, I believe, 18 seasons, so almost 2 decades. You have Lamar Jackson, who is from this area.
He is.
And we know basically everything's splintered at the end. Say Flowers from this area. And, basically those 2 guys talk to a lot of the Dolphins players. This is going to be an organization. I guess I'll look at it, maybe take it from this way. Think about a corporate structure. So a good example would be us in media. The people that are making the decisions at the top are a few years away from retirement. And most people want to say, hey, keep the ship where it is. If you look at owner Stephen Ross, it's always been one toe in, one toe out, meaning he's never gotten rid of a general manager and a head coach together. And it looks like, as of right now, that it's going to be the same, whether it's McDaniel staying and Champ Kelly getting replaced, or is Kelly going to keep the job? Do you get rid of McDaniel? And to me, the right thing to do is to clean house. And so much of this hinges on what to do with Tua. And John Harbaugh would basically come in as the head coach, and those would be questions that he would be asking, because as an older head coach, the Dolphins realistically need to tear this whole thing down and start over. Yep. And so you're looking essentially at 5 years. Does John Harbaugh find himself in a situation where it's going to take less than 5 years? And another good example would be Mike McCarthy getting a look at the Giants job. He was kind of a name that was linked early to Miami, but after talking to Coach, I don't think that he wants to come here. But you need to find, I know he's off the same tree of Mike McDaniel, like a Sean McVay type that's a little bit younger, that can relate to the players, but has the authority to manage them. And we saw what happened with Jalen Ramsey. And basically he's like, I'm not listening to you, Mike McDaniel. There's no way that this team has any chance. And basically Chris Greer felt like he was forced to pay Tua. And that decision basically is going to cripple this franchise. Should you have paid him the money after 2023 as an agent from a player perspective? Absolutely. From an organizational perspective, there's no way you should have given him $200 million. You should have put him on a 1-year deal, pay him the 5th-year option, and throw him a 1-year, $45 million contract. Obviously, that's not what an agent would be pushing for, but you had the leverage in that situation. And sure. I'm normally pro player, especially with my relationships with the guys and all the agents.
Sure. Yeah.
But, it's funny that the Dolphins don't reward any of their players, their draft picks, with cash. They let them walk in free agency. We saw with Christian Wilkins. We saw with Javon Holland. We saw with Rob Hunt. And the one guy you choose to pay is the wrong guy. And everyone is screaming at you, do not do this. And here we are. So, the Dolphins are going to Dolphin. And this thing is built so wrong. I guess here's a situation Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin is Lane Kiffin. I have a long relationship with Lane. But when you're top, so we'll call it the president chancellor of the college, and your athletic director and your head coach are aligned, not one person can change the program. Here you have Ole Miss, who's won 2 playoff games. Everyone was expecting Lane, once he left, everybody to fold, and here's this team, and they're the Final Four, which is phenomenal. That's built correctly. And they've been able to retain their quarterback, their running back, their big pieces for next year during the portal, which is huge. You look at the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Is Stephen Ross talking to Champ Kelly? Oh, Champ's trying to interview for a job. Is Mike McDaniel going to have a say? Is he not going to have a say? Is he going to be here? Are you going to hire a GM and say, oh, hey, bye, you're fired? Like, there's no structure in place. And now you're going to bring in Troy Aikman because you have to have somebody that has relationships. And we know that Troy Aikman is not a fan of Mike McDaniel. You remember a couple of games back when they were on the Monday Night Football game against
Pittsburgh. Yeah, Monday Night Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, he was basically like, what is Mike McDaniel doing in the fourth quarter? And we've seen Mike McDaniel make so many mistakes. My issue has been that he's made the same mistakes over and over again in the 4 years. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be a learning curve. But when you make a mistake, learn from it. Don't repeat the pattern. And we've seen him repeat the pattern. The caveat is, in my opinion, Mike McDaniel is the perfect coach for Tua. And the two will be tied together. I think I've said this before. And those are decisions that you're going to have to make. And, you know, Harbaugh, again, will have, I mean, you've got Cam Ward sitting out there. You've got Jackson Dart sitting out there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got pieces on rookie deals that are good situations. Even here in Arizona, you've got the number 3 overall pick. You can move Kyler Murray. I mean, it wouldn't help the team, but I honestly feel like the money, I'd have to look at the money, but like a Kyler and a Tua swap could be interesting.
I've heard that before, yeah.
But again, that's not going to help you take a step. You're so far from the Bills and the Patriots that you're not even in the discussion, with or without Tyreek Hill. Healthy. So it just feels like we're kind of like the Browns. No matter what we do, what we get, like,
dang gosh, that energy.
I'm serious. Like,
I know.
But give me some facts and some data that tell you otherwise.
No, we are.
No, you are.
We are. We just don't play in snow. That's the only difference.
Yeah, it's a different kind of snow in Miami. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's give me something that can give me hope. And the only hope that I can see is wiping the slate clean, getting the right people in place, and you're going to have to build this brick by brick.
Well, talking about the right people in place, I feel like the Hurricanes did that. So I want to ask you before we bring in our Panthers guest. Okay, so you're down there. You're in Arizona. The big game's tomorrow, the Fiesta Bowl. We play the University of Mississippi, Hotty Toddy Rebels. The Canes win this. That's what I said.
So
University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. I work there.
Hotty Toddy is the only important part.
Hotty Toddy. So the winner of this game will play the following Monday here at the Hard Rock, which means essentially the Canes would have a home game.
Yeah.
Do you foresee the Canes bringing it home and playing in the Natty at Hard Rock Stadium, not this Monday, the following Monday, against probably Indiana? I'll just say it. Do you foresee it happening?
I do.
You do?
Nice.
I do. Yeah. I mean, look, like, you've got more talent on the Miami roster. You have the buy-in and the closeness of the locker room. You have a first-year head coach opposite them that is basically playing free, but I feel like, kind of like we talked about with Mike McDaniel, Mario Cristobal is a great recruiter, and I have the utmost amount of respect for that man, and I love what he's about. The knock on him his entire coaching career has been the X's and O's mistakes in crucial moments. And luckily we haven't had any of those in the playoffs, but we need to make sure that this isn't one of those situations where we have something like that. We came close in the first half against Ohio State with the field goal at the end. Luckily, it didn't cost them any points.
Yes,
exactly.
But, you know, we need to have a situation where, you know, you make those right decisions. And the cool thing about Mario is that he's willing to adapt. He's willing to change. To me, the whole thing is Corey Heatherman. The defensive coordinator has changed his program. He should be a head coach, in my opinion. I know Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, wants to be a head coach. So to me, the move would be put Mario as a general manager, bring in or promote one of those two coordinators, and then bring in another person would be how I would structure this. But the support staff on this team has been phenomenal, and the portal has been phenomenal for them, specifically Jacoby Thomas, Keontae Scott, now that he's healthy. You've got Brown back. You've got Brown, the running back, that's in there. And then you've got the Hall of Famer, obviously, in Jason Taylor. You've got my buddy from college, Will Harris, who's been a phenomenal recruiter. And this team wants to hurt you, and they have a defensive mentality that you haven't seen. And they're just going to try to out-physical Ole Miss. And Ole Miss has been out-physicaling people, including Georgia. But I just feel that there's more talent on Miami. There's more experience on the coaching staff. And Carson Beck has a significant amount of experience. I understand Trinidad has won national championships at the Division II level at Ferris State. Shout out to our guy, Zach Sealer, proud alum.
Yes.
But those are the factors that I believe will lead Miami to a win. And there's just, when a team gets rolling, there's something special. This team has that secret sauce. We've seen it with the Panthers, where they're not the most talented team. They find a way to grit it out. And the Canes have that in their locker room. It's innate. You can't teach it. And credit to Mario for creating that culture. And that's what I believe will propel them to the national championship. Remember, though, Chambliss, 3 interceptions the entire season. All were when the pocket was clean. He's great when he's scrambling. Miami has to turn the ball over. They have to force the turnovers. So turnover ratio, we talked about it. It's the biggest determining factor in a win or a loss, but that is the key to the game.
So you're doing the pregame speech tomorrow. I kind of figured. That was amazing. I'm like ready to go take the field for them now. That was amazing.
Great
well, you know what?
John.
If you're going to do a pregame, I'll be on the field starting at 3:30 Eastern. So if we want to do a little pregame hello and show everybody the sights and sounds, I'm happy to do it.
Don't touch us a good time. All right, maybe sending you a link tomorrow.
We might have to do that. But Josh, thanks again for joining us, man.
Yeah.
You are the man. Thanks for giving us a glimpse.
Enjoy that hotel and hanging out with all those cool people and everything. My gosh, Josh.
And as you say, if the Canes win tomorrow, you won't have to get in a plane to cover the team in the next game. It'll be right here in our backyard. So I'll be loving to see it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to do a tailgate. We're gonna have to get something. Maybe do one of these in person.
I love it.
That would be amazing. We have the mic.
Yeah, well, everybody in South Florida, definitely check out WSVN 7. Check out all of Josh's reports.
Damn technology.
Best of the best. But guys, definitely check him out. WSVN, Channel 7, sports anchor, top notch. He does a fantastic job, and you'll be seeing a lot of him today, tomorrow, and then covering all Canes next week because, baby, we're going to the national championship.
Natty. Thank you, Josh.
All right, 2 more games. All right, guys.
You got it.
Talk to you later.
So thank you.
All right, so that was amazing. But I want to bring on, okay, as you guys may have known, we totally had a generator broke. It's completely pitch black next to us.
If you're tuning in, that's what happened.
We're a little backed up because it was the scariest thing. I really thought we just got attacked. So we have 2 guests, and they're both our friends. And what I want to do is I want to bring them both on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Jeremy, who we were with him at the Winter Classic. So hello, Jeremy. And then Will, our Canes expert. Now, I must tell you, Jeremy is an FSU guy, so don't hold that against him. He comes in peace.
Jeremy, could you cover those pennants in the back there?
Right? Can you stand up a little bit?
No. I'm kidding.
So guys, we apologize for the backup. It has just been crazy. Like we're sitting here doing a wonderful show, and all of a sudden, like I really felt like our building, our area got attacked. It went completely black.
We're
so
okay.
We are good. So where do you want to start? I mean, we just spoke Canes. I'm all pumped for the game.
Yeah, let's start. Let's shift gears because we want to go back to the Canes, the most important story in town. But Jeremy, I do want to ask, and I do want to say, even though you're an Noles fan, I won't. Back a couple years ago when it was at the time of 4-team field, I was for FSU getting in, and I thought a lot of people, Canes fans as well, thought that FSU deserved a shot. So hopefully you can reciprocate the favor for us down here. And I agree.
But all jokes aside, though, I do give Miami credit for the run they've had. I was surprised Josh left out Marcel Reed, who's like that Tommy Castellanos type, maybe even a little more. So I give Miami credit for what they've done. It's going to be fascinating tomorrow night because Ohio State, when they came out of the second half and went up tempo, you could see that Miami had a little trouble on defense with Bain and Messer because they were exhausted at the end of the first half. Then Ohio State went slow, gave Miami time to rest, and Miami did what they do on defense. Ole Miss is going to go fast all game. They have to. If they want to take their time and do that, it's really going to be fast versus Miami pounding them. I don't think you're going to see Carson Beck throw the ball a lot tomorrow. I really don't. I could be wrong. I just think if you can run the ball and keep their offense off the field, it's a recipe.
Will, do you think it takes?
Yeah, let's ask our Canadians insider. Will, what do you think? Well, what do you think of that? What's the game plan for tomorrow night?
Yeah, well, I just think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be – I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I have a lot of respect for Trinidad Chambliss, what he did to Georgia, especially when he was under pressure, and the dimes he dropped, pretty much when he was under duress and by the sideline as well as wide receivers with touch and zip and stuff like that is something that you can't sneeze at. So he's going to be very, very good. But this isn't really the first time Miami's faced tempo. Miami's faced tempo against Florida State. Miami faced tempo against USF. Miami faced tempo against a little bit, if you want to get technical, with A&M. Miami faced tempo with Ohio State. Miami faced tempo with Louisville. Miami also faced tempo a little bit with Syracuse, even though Syracuse sucks. But Miami also faced tempo as well with NC State. And Miami, they'll get punched a little bit when you start fast. But Corey Heatherman is one of the best defensive coordinators when it comes to in-game adjustments. And I slightly disagree with you, Jeremy. I thought that in some cases within the tempo, when Ohio State towards in the game when they tried going fast, Miami shut them down. They even rushed 3 at one point and got to Julian Sain. So Miami struggles a little bit with tempo, but they do adjust very well to the tempo.
I understand. I'm just saying that that's the only chance you have.
Yeah.
If you go straight 11 on 11, it's not going to work. And also keep in mind, man, Ole Miss's coaching situation. This is not the time of year where you can have half your staff in Baton Rouge for half the week, then come in the day before. You only got 6 days to prepare. Miami's all business there. Ole Miss is in flux.
Ole Miss
no one is talking about that aspect.
Yeah, it's not a good situation as far as the coaching staff for them. Lane put him in a tough bind, as well. Only really leaving Charlie Weiss Jr. and Kevin Smith, the former Miami Hurricanes running back coach, over there.
Right, and Kevin Smith's not going to be there tomorrow. And
he's not?
No, they said he's not going to be able to be there.
Okay. Last I heard he was.
Yeah, so I had heard he wasn't. I could be wrong. And then Charlie Weiss Jr.
Either way, it sucks for them.
They're playing with house money at this point, then.
Yeah.
But it's just not a position you want to be in.
No, absolutely.
It's the difference when you've got elite teams.
Yeah.
So,
no doubt, and the fact that they retained, Chambliss is now coming back officially for next year. Lacey's coming back as well. So, all things considered, as you guys just discussed, the fact that their coaching staff's in shambles. They're going to lose 4 or 5 more assistants, but they've retained their top 2 players on offense, and they're going to have a whole heck of a momentum going into 2026 based on this run, which we're hoping ends tomorrow night.
It's so crazy. I was looking at the date. It was actually a month ago today that was Selection Sunday that we found out the Canes got in. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if someone was to tell you, and Will, I probably know your answer, but I think maybe to Lou and Jeremy, if someone was to tell you a month ago today, hey, the Canes will be playing in the semifinals, just 1 game away from the national championship, Will, would you believe it?
I'll be honest with you. I know. I didn't believe it. I thought if they can get in, they can make a run because it's a whole new season in the playoffs. But I was so happy when they leapfrogged Notre Dame finally, and they were able to get in. I thought that the gauntlet that they were going to face was the toughest one. So of all the teams. So yeah, I would have never expected it. I would have never expected it. But I did think that this team could go on a run. As well, and they have. I mean, they peaked at the right time. Their defense has been elite ever since the whole Louisville and even SMU situation. The DBs have been playing closer to the line, right, as well, which has allowed Mesidor and Bain to put a lot more pressure on the quarterback. We've seen in the playoffs that they've upped the ante a little bit. Miami's problem, I know people harp on the SMU Louisville losses. Mario Cristobal's problem as a coach, okay, has never been against elite teams. It's always been against teams that Miami has more talent than. The same thing happened in Oregon as well. So I was never worried about the Canes being prepared in the college football playoffs. I was just worried where they could finish and win the games. Yeah, that's the case. But this team is locked in. They're very focused. He has a bunch of dogs on that team, guys asleep in the facility, like Keontae Scott and so on. and I think it's gonna be a tough game. Basically you have Ali versus Frazier. The Canes being Frazier and Ole Miss being Ali because of the pace they play. But if Miami could just play a clean game, not turn over the football, control the clock, they should win this game outright. Without anything coming down to the line.
I hope that's right, and I think that's where we're hoping we're trending towards here. Looking at the bracket here,
obviously, we got here by beating Texas A&M and Kyle Field, Richmond Webb's alma mater. Then we ended up taking Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. So here we are playing against the number 6 Ole Miss Rebels, and then of course on the other side of that you have the Oregon Ducks playing against the Indiana Hoosiers.
Yeah, some upsets here along the way, just like last year. This has been the theme of the college football playoff, the home field advantage. This year kind of held up, and not last year. You ended up with an 8 seed in the championship game last year. You got this year with you saw the Ole Miss play Tulane, which is a team that a lot of people didn't believe should be there. And in Oregon, so everybody but Indiana is an underdog essentially, or an upset. But you're down to your Final Four here, college football's version of the Final Four, and we are. The Hurricanes are 1 win away from coming back and playing at home for the national championship, which is yet to happen in this format. And they could also go up against hometown local hero in Fernando Mendoza, your Heisman Trophy winner.
Columbus High School,
and what a tremendous story that would be. Jeremy, what's your take on that, and how do you see this bracket shaking out?
In what sense? Like how the semifinals are going to go? Or
who do you think is going to be in the national championship? Do you think it's going to be the Fernando Mendoza coming down to Miami to take on the Canes?
I tell you, I love Dan Lanning. Their defense is nasty, going to get after it. I always favor the team that lost in the rematch. We saw it Oklahoma, Alabama. We saw it Ole Miss, Georgia. We have seen that a lot. But Indiana they are assassins out there. I think it's as even a matchup as you can get. Wow. Like, I want to see Mendoza against this defense because they look a lot better than when he went there to Eugene. As far as the semifinals, man, as a Noel fan who probably didn't want to see the Canes go that far, I knew it. I did, but I give them credit. I call it like I see it. But I said if they can get by A&M, it's going to be they could go on a run, because I do believe now there might be some into that second round situation where 1-7 now teams who had that bye. It seems like teams who've had that long 3-4 weeks bye get in their head and call some of the craziest stuff. If you looked at Miami in their first game against A&M, they were doing double passes, crazy stuff in the wind at A&M, which was hurting them. And then second game against Ohio State, just called what they needed to call perfectly and ran a smart approach. So that's why I'm excited to see the game tomorrow, because both teams have had the same amount of rest, the same amount of everything. So everything's out the window in that regard. Man, I think the physicality is just going to come into play at the end. Like, I really do. Unless Ole Miss can keep them on their heels all night. But if Miami can control the clock, I don't know if Ole Miss will have enough for them. Like, I really think so. And I think Carson's very comfortable right now playing the game manager role. He's adapted from that. From the beginning of the year, he was trying to do a lot. So, yeah, I think Mark Flexter has been the X factor every game in this playoffs, and people aren't talking about him again this week. It's another game. Miami's content to just 6-7 minute drives. Fletcher, yeah, I think so. Unless Chambliss, I mean, you can't plan on him having a second half like he did against Georgia. That was one of the most ungodly performances ever. If I'm Miami, I'm so happy because I'm like, glad he got it out of the system then. Yeah. Because I don't want to see that. So, yeah, it's really going to come down to the clock. If Miami controls the clock, they win the game, as long as they don't turn the ball over.
Perfect. All right, Will, want to ask you also, is this a game where the Canes win a toss? Are they deferring? Do they want to put, Ole Miss on the field first and let that defense get to work? And do you see, as Jeremy alluded to, Carson Beck being more of a game manager, trying to hand the ball over to Fletcher? Ole Miss has Xavier Harris down there, the defensive tackle, run stuffer. He could put some pressure on the quarterback. Do you think this is going to be try to establish the run and win another defensive battle? Low scoring. Is that the Hurricane approach here?
Yeah, to answer your first question, I think if Miami wins the toss, they're going to defer. Miami likes taking the ball in the second half. That's been a Kane thing for a very, very long time. So I think that's going to happen. If Miami does win the toss, they'll put Ole Miss's offense on the field, get it out of their system with their defense, and try to get a 3-and-out, or at least stop them, and then put their offense out there. That's one. Number two, I do think it's going to be a lot more ball control. I think it'll be more balanced. I think Beck is going to have a better game because the Ole Miss secondary is not as strong as the secondaries that they faced in Ohio State and A&M. Right, as well. I do see guys getting open in this game, like Malachi Toney, CJ Daniels, even Elijah Lofton might be able to shake off a guy or two, which Beck will allow Beck to kind of like be able to use play action in this game, right, as well. But I do think, again, the clock is going to be a big thing. The best way to stop tempo is keep tempo on the sidelines. All right, and I think that's what Miami wants to do, is keep them on the sidelines throughout the game. If Miami can respond quickly to the tempo and get a couple 3-and-outs against Ole Miss, that actually is going to hurt Ole Miss's defense, which means they'll be on the field a lot quicker, and you could be able to pound on them late in the third quarter, which will become the Mark Fletcher, Marty Brown show.
Love it. And I hope we see them thunder and lightning, just letting them run the ball and pounding it.
So one thing that's in my head was during the Cotton Bowl, they interviewed Coach before the game, and they're like, "What's the key of this game?" He kept saying violence, violence, violence. And I'm a very peaceful person. My 2026 word is peace. I've stuck to that. I said, "Lou's gonna be peaceful households, peaceful sports, peaceful everything." Right?
It's been 7 days. You got time.
No.
7 days. I
really think the key to this game is you have to go with the same mindset. So again, just for one more day to the year, maybe two possibly, but tomorrow they and us too, we have to choose violence.
what you guys as fans need to do is you have to plan on someone making a play that you didn't plan on going into the game. That's where these games are always determined. CJ Daniels all talks about Toney. CJ Daniels, every playoff game, has not had several catches. They've all been huge plays in the game. He doesn't get talked about as much as Toney, but my God, is he Carson Blake's safety blanket? That's what I'm saying. You might have Miami always seems to have some tight end who does nothing all year, and then in the biggest moments comes up with a big play. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's where I would ask you guys, all three of you, who's a player on offense that, man, no one's talking about, but man, you could see in the fourth quarter.
Well, who do you see? Who's that standout player?
It's going to be CJ. CJ's been the clutch receiver on both games as well. He's been able to get open at the right times. He's made, he's made the plays he's needed to make as well, to move the chains as well. So I think it's going to be a guy that it's going to be the X factor will be CJ Daniels. Malachi gets double teamed and Malachi blocks very well. A lot of CJ Daniels getting sprung open is because of either Malachi Toney being double teamed or Malachi actually blocking for CJ. So it's been a phenomenal tandem at receiver and how much they feed off each other, both in terms of their finesse and even physicality as well as playmakers.
But who maybe Pringle comes in third quarter. You're not planning on.
He is somebody that I would watch out for because he is lethal. Yeah, and counter and outside and the outside run. He is absolutely lethal, and he will stretch Ole Miss's defense because Ole Miss's defense, I think, is ranked 45th in the run in the country.
They get tired.
I think we can use him.
Right, that's what I'm saying. CJ, we're talking about. We've seen him.
Yeah,
Pringle's a guy that no one's talking about. And
not
as a
the
coach,
chips, Lou. Lou didn't eat dinner yet. I'm not talking about the chips.
I love Pringles, but that being said, that's what I'm talking about. A guy that nobody's talking about. Yeah. But you could see 2 or 3 plays, and 2 or 3 plays can win you a game. And his type of speed, I'm telling you, Ole Miss's defense, you can fatigue them quicker because of the up tempo, like he talked about.
I'm looking for the change in dynamic of play. Series swinger, like the interception last week against Ohio State. Walker, something like that. Big play in the game that's going to turn the momentum over to the team. That's what we're watching out for. And then, look, this is a revenge game, not so much between the two teams, but, Ole Miss got the revenge against Georgia last week. Their lone loss of the season. And the Canes avenged the big loss against Ohio State 23 years ago. So both teams find themselves in this spot now. So, again,
it sucks because I would have loved to see Lane Kiffin coaching this game. Obviously, you want them best first. No, here's why. It's nothing to do like X's and O's. Yeah, best first best. I get it. Lane Kiffin has such a thing for South Florida. Like, trust me, if that Miami job had opened up years ago, he would have been here quicker than you can count.
He was at FAU as well. He coached at FAU.
I'm saying I would have loved to see Lane in this matchup. I think the team is rallying around Pete Golding though, more than I planned on. I just think Miami's just, man, that ball control and that clock and violence, like you talked. Like, I hate to say it, but my God, like, I haven't seen a defense this good in a few years now. They're better than that Michigan defense from 2 years ago that we talked about.
Well, let's do a score prediction. So, Jeremy, you start.
I don't like score predictions.
Okay.
But
the Canes are going to win.
He can't see that. Literally. Jeremy, you'd look amazing in orange and green. I'm just saying. Your eyes would pop out. It would be wonderful.
Actually, not even you can talk me there.
He said it's all right. We'll skip you.
I think it's a great matchup. Like, even bet. Like, at first, I kept saying I want to see Georgia Miami. I want to see Georgia Miami. Come that third, fourth quarter, I kept saying, man, Ole Miss Miami sounds a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I just think it's a great matchup. Like, I really do. As a college football junkie that I am, like, I'm really excited to see these teams do it. I just want to see if Ole Miss can match the physicality of Miami. And then that
my brother just jumped in the chat. My brother just said, wonder who's going to travel better to Arizona tomorrow between both fan bases. We know our brother JD, the boss man's traveling out there. What do you guys think? Do you think there's going to be a heavier Rebel presence out there, or more heavy Canes presence out there?
Rebels.
I think it'll be more Rebel, but I think the Canes fans will represent. My buddy Q from the I Hate Football podcast, he was at the Cotton Bowl, and he said it was nearly 50-50 between Miami and Ohio State fans. Yeah, so I think you'll have more Rebel fans, but I think it'll be pretty even. Go ahead.
Sorry, they added extra flights to Phoenix this week out of Lauderdale. Sold out of a lot of them. You're not doing that if people aren't traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. But seriously, I think it's going to be.
What are you doing tomorrow? Sorry. Okay.
No, I think it's going to be 60-40. Like, and that's fine in this type of neutral site if you're Miami.
Okay.
All right. So, Will, prediction, man. What do you got here? What's going to be the final score tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm like Jeremy. I hate score predictions. I still give them anyway. But I think Miami wins by a touchdown. I think Miami does keep Ole Miss under 24 points. So about 28-21 if I was to call it. Only because Miami hasn't given up more than 24 points in regulation the entire season, and they've only given up 17 points in the playoffs. So I think Miami holds Ole Miss under 24.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so listen, this is obviously the buzz down here in South Florida. The Canes have not been here in a very long time, and they are on the brink of potentially, if they win this game tomorrow, coming back home and playing the national championship game in their home stadium. It just really is. Wild. It's an unbelievable story developing, and we're hopeful that there's another chapter to it, and then a second one after that. So we'll see how that tunes in. Guys, if you don't mind, let's go over let's switch over gears really quick to the NFL. Jeremy, I know we're supposed to talk about the Winter Classic. Do you want to just put up some pictures?
We'll just bring it up, yeah.
I'm versatile, guys. I can do it.
So at the Winter Classic, we went Friday. We were there. This is all of us. So Lou, Big C's, my buddy John, Big St. John's guy.
Smiley back there.
Smiley, Jeremy, that's you. So we all just ran into each other. It was so wonderful.
Show a picture of
I'll show it.
Tremendous event. The first, ever edition down here in the state of Florida. Winter Classic in South Florida.
Such a great time.
Lone Depot did a great job. There you see a great shot of the foul pole.
That's a great
and in the stadium. So, Jeremy, just let's get into it here. What was your experience and your take? You put together a great video of the event. Well, what did you think of it?
I loved it, like in every which way possible. And I'm not even going to qualify it by saying, well, if the game was better. I don't even care. I didn't expect that kind of energy there. It felt like a Super Bowl in a way. Between the production, I didn't expect it to be that crazy in the concourses with both teams' fans in a good way.
Yeah.
There was an energy in that building, man. Like, wow. You had to remind yourself, like, this is a regular season game.
Yeah.
It felt like a football game on the outside when people were tailgating and people were at the Fan Fest, and that was the crowd getting in.
Sold out.
Unbelievable. Like, I want to go every year now, if I could.
So with that, we just found out just maybe an hour or two ago that the Winter Classic, the 2027 Winter Classic, will be in Utah. It will be the Utah Mammoth versus the Colorado Avalanche. I mean,
cool.
look, I don't think you knew that matchup.
No, I did not, but that's a good geographical rivalry right there,
beautiful.
Colorado.
So it'll be at the University of Utah's stadium, and it is just, I mean, I know that's like an AI production like image, but that like is stunning.
Cool.
So I don't know, I kind of got the Winter Classic bugging me.
Yeah, Will, what did you think, Will, seeing it? Obviously the Panthers have come a long way, back-to-back reigning Stanley Cup champions. Who would have ever thought that we'd be in a position to have a hockey rink in our baseball park and host a Winter Classic? What's your take on this amazing run by the Cats?
Oh my gosh, man, it's been great. It's been great. I haven't followed as much because I've been so dived in with football, especially Canes football. But man, I mean, this run has been like phenomenal. And I think I told you guys a few months back, this could continue, man, as a dynasty, because these guys are relatively young players and hockey players could go for a while. Look at Marchand. He's like 37 years old right now. So I just think that that this is a great run. I'm excited. Kachuk's coming back. I think this team is, although they haven't been playing well lately, like the middle of the pack right now, but when they get into the playoffs, they're gonna flip that switch, and I think they're gonna be a tough out again, and I think they could go for a third straight championship.
Yeah, we have no vacations planned in June because of that. That's everything's in July.
I do want to show some of the. So we ordered this.
We bought it. So my pal was like, "Do you guys want a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I thought it was just gonna be like a regular cup, and then we ended up getting this. So I'm like walking around the whole entire stadium, and everyone keeps saying, "I like your stick. I like your stick." Da 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 da.
It was filled with beer.
I may or may not have been the one that said that.
It was a good conversation starter. Let's
There
bring
was
that
a
up.
rally towel as well. So
awesome, man.
a tremendous event. We had a great time,
Yeah, it was amazing.
and it was awesome. Guys, if you're watching over on X or Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Make sure you like tonight's episode and subscribe to the channel. We're going to give Jeremy and Will a chance to tell us all the great things they got going on their channels as well at the end. Guys, I want to finish it up with the NFL. I want to shift back to the NFL and get your thoughts on the Harbaugh situation, and McDaniel should be the coach. Also, quick shout out to Kirk Marks, our buddy Kirk, who's in the room.
Chat, yeah.
And Kirk is the champion of the SoFLo Sports Show question. So, Kirk, we already said what we'll be sending your way, but congrats to Kirk on winning the contest.
My brother just chimed in. My brother's a Lightning fan, full disclosure. He goes, us Tampa fans are and talk in our groups about how dangerous Panthers are. Good.
Yep.
Stay scared of us.
And Russ has been to a couple Winter Classics.
I've been to 3 outdoor hockey games. I think the NHL needs to go back to one game on New Year's Day and at noon.
Well, they got the different versions of it. I mean, look, the demand is there to fill out these ballparks or football stadiums, so why not do it? All right, let's switch gears here. We'll start with you. Should McDaniel be fired, and do you think the Dolphins should pursue John Harbaugh?
Wrong picture.
Yes and yes. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Can I do that again? That sounded. I would have sounded more emphatic. You ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes and yes. Okay. Yes, fire McDaniel, and yes, get John Harbaugh. Okay. We let Mike Vrabel slip. Okay. We're not doing that again. If you can get John Harbaugh with a couple Super Bowls and has been in the playoffs like a gajillion times, you get this man. All right. And he's respected. He's tough, but he's also very good. He's also be a player's coach as well. You probably retain Anthony Weaver. Let's be frank. That's his guy. So yes, and 1,000 times yes. If you can get John Harbaugh, if he says, I want to be a Dolphin, I'll coach this team, blah, blah. I'll bring Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers with me. Yes. Okay. Don't even hesitate. All right. Say bye-bye, McDaniel. Take a walk and your aviator glasses with you.
And your Crocs too. All of it.
All that stuff. Jeremy, what do you got?
I think I would fire McDaniel for less of a coach. So forget Harbaugh. Forget Harbaugh. It's a no-brainer. Like, how do you not?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Denver when they were somewhat happy with Tim Tebow, had a chance to get Peyton Manning. They said, "No, we like this young Tebow kid." No, you took the risk and brought in Manning, and they won a Super Bowl. You take Harbaugh and Stephen Ross. We know he loves his big splash hires, and he loves the Hollywood. This is the guy. I don't know if it's a bidding war for him or not. I don't care. Jim has a relationship with Stephen Ross. I'm sure that would help bridge anything. Yes, I mean it's a no-brainer. Even without Lamar Jackson, just do it. I don't care. Like, just do it. If you want to be serious to win, which we question right now with this franchise, that's it. You bring him in.
That's a move to make. No
Daniel
doubt.
says this is going to be a long and interesting offseason, and Cap said pretty much, heck yes, it will be. But what we do know is what games are set for this weekend. So the games will start on Saturday. You have the Rams and the Panthers, 4:30 p.m., followed by Green Bay and Chicago. That's a heavy matchup there as well. Followed by the Sunday games. The Bills go down to Jacksonville to take on Trevor Lawrence and team, followed by San Francisco and Russ's Philadelphia Eagles, with the last game on Sunday being the Chargers and the Patriots. And then Monday night, last game, will be, well, this image is actually not updated, Lou, but it'll be the Texans, and we know they will be playing the Steelers because the Ravens are eliminated.
Yep. And so this leads us to the next thing, and I want to get everybody in the panel's predictions here on who was going to put the so let's go to the bracket. I know it's not an official bracket because in the NFL they do reseed, based on the teams advancing. So, but here is your impromptu bracket, if you will. And so, looking at the AFC and the NFC, let's start with Jeremy. Jeremy, what do you think? Who do you have as your Super Bowl prediction here? 2026 ending up in San Francisco.
I tell you,
prediction.
Well, I just do it for the NFL because I don't get like emotional about NFL like I do college. But I was just so hoping to see Buffalo and Baltimore in the AFC on a year where we don't see Pat Mahomes. I'm happy about that in general. I'm so happy to know that I'm not going to hear Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl and all that stuff. I'm happy. Nothing against the Chiefs personally, even though I said that a little bit there. I'm excited to see that we're going to see somebody new from the AFC this year. I wanted to be Josh Allen. I know I'm a Dolphin fan. But I love Josh Allen. Like, I think he's paid his dues in so many ways. But Jacksonville's on a roll right now. But I'm gonna have a soft spot for Josh Allen in Buffalo, and only the Chargers because of Derwin James. In the NFC, I like Sean McVay and Jared Verse. I know I'm being biased there, and I think the Bears. I mean, who saw that coming?
Right.
Yeah.
I told you week 3 or 4 the Bears are going to be a 2 seed. You would have said, Jeremy, what are you drinking? I'm just glad we're going to see some new, different matchups this year in the NFL.
I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, you want to go next?
Well, who do you like?
Yeah, I just want to tell Jeremy for his Taylor Swift comment. He just made an enemy out of Dolphin from Doll's Diaries. Just let you know. So don't be surprised if she crosses you out of her friends list or over there on X. Of course, just joking. In the AFC, I do like the matchup between Houston and Pitt. That's a tough one. I think Pitt kind of got in. I would pick Houston in that matchup. I think that the Texans could beat the Steelers. The Buffalo Bills, man. The Jaguars have been playing very well, man, but Buffalo's got a great running game, and I think that plays a lot in the playoffs. So I hate Buffalo, but I think I'm going to pick them over the Jaguars. I got the Patriots over the Chargers. I think that team is playing very well right now. They're very coached under Mike Vrabel. On the NFC side, it's a toss-up between Carolina and the Rams, but I think I'll pick the Rams. Sean McVay's experience and so on. Between the Eagles and the 49ers, I'll pick the 49ers. Their defense is playing very well this year. And between Chicago and Green Bay, I agree with Jeremy. Who saw that coming? I'm going to go with Chicago.
Nice.
In that matchup. I'm going to go with Chicago. I think they're playing very good football.
And the tailgate scene there, the tailgate scene there is going to be insane.
Yeah. Definitely.
They hate each other in the regular season. Imagine the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole different
rivalry.
Level here. Yeah.
It really is. It's a very nasty rivalry.
And Will, your Super Bowl matchup, who do you got in Super Bowl?
Yeah, I got my students asked me that today. Who do you have in the Super Bowl? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I think it's up for grabs this year, but I think I'm gonna have the safe pick. I'm gonna go with the Broncos and the Seahawks. As a safe pick. Jetto, I like the way that Sean Payton has been coaching that team. I really like Bo Nix. I've liked him since his freaking Auburn days. To be honest with you, as well. By the way, Miami Hurricane connection. His father's Patrick Nix, who's a former OC under Randy Shannon. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
In the chat, Miami Mike says, "I live in Washington, so he is very against the Seahawks."
No, he's going to go for the Seahawks. He says go for the Seahawks.
He goes. Go again? No, go against.
Go against. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I read that wrong.
Stop.
I read it wrong.
My brother, another disclosure, Jaguars fan. He chose very wrong teams. I only claim him partially. He goes, as a Jags fan, I'd rather have the 4 seed and take the Broncos second round. Broncos have barely squeezed by too many mediocre teams. Pats for Seahawks. as my brother's prediction, Drake May is too dangerous. Russ says Eagles and Patriots. And Daniel Taylor says, I'm going to go with Jacksonville because I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm actually going with you, Daniel, as well. I'm picking Jacksonville coming from the AFC East.
AFC.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I said East. AFC, Trevor Lawrence. I'm just riding it for now. Duval. And then NFC, I'm going for Seattle.
Okay.
Can I add to the comment about the Drake May? Reason why I didn't pick the Patriots is because I think the Patriots are still too young. Okay, a lot of it is because they drafted well. I still think Drake May's too young and he doesn't have the playoff experience. And I think in many cases, experience plays a key role. That's just my take. Yeah, I obviously picked them to beat the Chargers. I don't know if they can go, all the way. That's just my take. But I think the Patriots are like a year or two away. But they look good this year. I mean, you can't deny that.
Agreed. No, and a lot of people were saying, well, they played a secondary schedule. That's BS. I mean, you have to. It's very tough to win on a weekly basis in the NFL. You finish the season with 13 wins. You've done something special. So, I hate to do it, but got to give him credit. As for me, I'm looking at seeing the Patriots and the Bills go out early and often because I don't want to see them in there. I'm not sure that'll happen, especially playing the Chargers with regards to the Patriots first. I think that's a very easy matchup for them. LA has not really showed a lot this year. Herbert might not be 100%. So I think the Patriots will at least win that first game. But again, the sooner they can be out, the better. As a Dolphin fan, you never want to see the AFC rivals, advance on. So, but for my Super Bowl prediction, I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here. I think the Houston Texans and that amazing defense is going to make a run. And I got the Texans representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. And on the NFC side, I'm torn between two NFC West teams, LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. Now, the Rams had them on the ropes and should have won that game in Seattle a couple of weeks back, and that cost them the division. So I am going to say that the Rams will get a payback moment. And I got a crazy Super Bowl matchup. I got the Rams and the Texans in the Super Bowl, and I got the Texans winning it.
So
crazy.
I also have another take I just want to add. Looping in a little bit of baseball, I apologize. I was going for the Mariners. Obviously, when the Marlins were knocked out a long time ago, I was like, I hope in the Mariners. And the Mariners did not end up, making it to the World Series. So I think for the city of Seattle, since your Mariners did not make it to the World Series, give it to the Seahawks this year.
Okay.
Right, a little cute perspective.
I guess I can't imagine Sam Darnold raising a Vince Lombardi. That would be
I've
crazy.
I've seen crazier things.
I'd rather see someone who hasn't done it. It's like we finally get rid of Kansas City, but I see New England sitting there. And it's like, my God, like these two teams you can't get rid of.
Yeah, I hear you. But all right, guys, listen, can't thank you enough for hanging out. If you're tuning in now, we had a transformer.
The neighbor, actually, our neighbor confirmed what happened. The building next to us, their transformer did blow. They saw the blue light, so we didn't see the regular light.
Hopefully everybody's all right.
Yeah, but it's pitch black next door.
That took place right in the middle of the show there.
It's crazy.
So it just delayed everything. But thank you guys, specifically you, Jeremy, and you, Will, for sticking around and hanging out with us. Greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Let's start with Will. Will, tell everybody where they can find you and how they can follow your awesome content.
Because you both have great content. You both do such a great job, and I want to make sure everybody knows where to find you.
Thank you so very much. So just before I do a bit of a plug, on my show last night, I had the host of TY24 Sports, Tariq Gracia. Tariq Gracia actually played for Ole Miss, so he gave his perspective on Ole Miss as a former player. So please check out that episode on 305 Sports Now on YouTube. Please, 305 Sports Now, please subscribe. It's free. All right, please subscribe. You could also find me on X as well under William Padron at 305 Sports Now. You can also find me on Facebook as well under 305 Sports Now as well. And thank you so much, Ashley, for once again having me on. I had a great time chopping it up with Jeremy and yourselves.
No, we love having you.
Always.
And tomorrow's a dress down day. I'm extending it to your school as well because I sent you, with our school. I showed them that we have a dress down
my
day.
kid, my son at his school, Green Tree, they're gonna also have a Canes day too. So he's gonna wear some Canes gear.
Good. I'm glad South Florida's getting the memo. And Jeremy, let people know about Rock and Noel.
Yeah, Rock and Noel YouTube channel. Haven't set up the social media for it, but I run my own social media with Jay Ivans 13. I'm doing a lot of travel vlogs. I'm actually going to try to branch out. I think we talked about it the other night. I'm going to try to branch out into a little college hockey this offseason during the
nice
baseball, and then obviously get back into football. I love talking sports. So if you see me on Twitter or whatever it's called now, just hit me up. I love to talk sports. Thank you guys for having me on. This was my first time talking NFL on any show. So
you never know.
You
You're
never
wrong,
know.
sir.
yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Thank you. Yeah, it was great meeting you as well, Will. Great time. Please check out the YouTube. I'm working on to build my live streams even more. I've talked to some cool people. They said they're going to come on. I don't want to give names yet because then I look stupid if they don't come. But yeah, I'm working on some cool stuff for the off season. That's for sure. So
love what both of you guys got going on, man. And
love
this is
what you guys do too, man.
great
your
community. It's not easy coming on here and speaking and giving your takes, and it's so you guys appreciate it. We appreciate you guys, and so thank you again for hanging out with us today. I do want to end it with this. Today's National Bobblehead Day, so I want to show off two of my favorite bobbleheads.
Vanna White for a second, right?
Vanna White, please. Could you first bring since Fernando Mendoza is playing in a couple of days here, let's bring out Fernando.
Lou's like, you better not drop it. I'm so nervous right
Fernando.
now. I just want to pass him.
This is,
you remember my fun fact about Fernando Mendoza from the other night that I told you? He was a former student of mine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Preschool.
All right, so this is not Fernando Mendoza, but it is Fernando Valenzuela, the late great, and pretty good bobblehead there. Looks like he's on the railings at Dodger Stadium, so that's a pretty cool one. And then the next one.
Before I do the next one, I have to disclose that Lou has a bobblehead collection, obsession, fetish, whatever those words are. This man has hundreds of bobbleheads. If you guys ever have bobbleheads that you don't want, he will be more than happy to take it.
Have Lou give you a tour of the one at Marlins Park.
Yeah, come on.
Man, the other night, man, I've never seen somebody so happy.
Yeah.
And my next one, I love this one. This is Dontrell Willis, the D-Train, number 35, with that leg kick, that Florida Marlin hat, the only real Florida Marlin hat that anyone should be wearing, tilted to the side. And, love the D-Train. So this is one of my favorites. Those are two of my favorites on National Bobblehead Day.
You know which one I like? I like our Sidney Crosby one.
Sidney Crosby.
Just because it's cute.
Don't tell that one to Russ in the room. He won't appreciate that. So.
I like my Sidney Crosby and my Sandy Alcantara. I'm sure you guys can guess why. Just kidding. I'm a married woman.
All right. And on that note, guys, again, thank you guys for joining us. Have a great rest of your week. Tune into Jeremy's and Will's podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe their channels. Do not miss it. And we will see what happens tomorrow night. We are hopeful to have some, nice continuing coverage of the U. Jeremy, you don't have to partake in that, but Will, Will, leave your schedule open next week because
we're coming for you.
We may need to talk again and do this over. All right,
you got it.
But,
Anytime.
Guys, excellent. Well, guys, have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, so this has been such an eventful night. So guys, thank you all for those who tuned in. Our chat has been nonstop. We've had so many people from around the world literally tune in. So we appreciate the chat being hot all night. Thank you to Josh Moser for coming on, and we will catch you guys next week. In the meantime, let's go Canes.
All about the Canes. And Kirk, congratulations to Kirk Marks, our champion of the SoFLo Sports Show question and answer contest. Thank you, Kirk.